almost, our daughters, I love them dearly, but geez, when one of them sat there, well, I'm going out to the garden in my blue jeans, and she goes, I need some money to go buy some dirty jeans. I got an idea. Get your jeans on and come out in the garden with me. And then, how many of you have teenagers at home right now? The rest of you go, oh, geez, I hope they don't know. Teenagers, sometimes I wonder, and God bless the middle school and the high school teachers, because sometimes I think teenagers should be sent to a federal program. Have you gotten the federal program stare? Have you gotten the teenage stare yet? Where you say no, they ask you something in the living room, and then they always go to the same spot, and it's like... Have you ever done that? My wife and I, always trying to be proactive, we decided to go to How to Raise a Teenager workshop right here at Barnstable. And they did an excellent job teaching it. And we learned all the vocabulary, we just couldn't change. So when we'd get in an argument with our teenagers, we would argue, but we could be in escalation when we saw it, and de-escalation when we saw it. But we couldn't stop ourselves from saying, Jesus, what are you, stupid? One child stood in front of me and said, I am a teenager and I have the right to make mistakes. You have the right to make mistakes? You may make mistakes, that could happen, but you don't have a right to make mistakes. And another one, and I'm going to be honest about this. This was our son. We're down in Disney World, and luckily Karen had me on medication or something. Because we went down to Disney World, and as you know, that's quite expensive, but I got to see my Uncle Goofy and all. We're in Frontierland, in one of the trailers there, wonderful time. But Barnstable, a lot of kids from Barnstable went down. It was like when Easter was during the same vacation or something. So we waited until after Easter, then went down. So by Wednesday, a lot of kids had left. So here's our son in the middle of the trailer, across the table from me, luckily. As he stood there and goes, in the middle of Disney World, there's nothing to do here. I think I gave him a teenage stare. One of our kids is supporting the Gimme Fund. One of our daughters came back from college and she said she was trying this word on me to see how I'd react. She goes, I have a very good friend up at college and he's a bisexual. Ooh. A bisexual. And by the way, I'm going to just tell you right up front, bisexuals are they're the most selfish people in the world. They could make love with 7 billion people instead of 3.5 like any of us. Anyways, that's another whole story, but... So she said, I have a friend who's bisexual, so I said to her, if people have sex twice a year, that's their own business. It's just not my style. Of course, in a marriage, as many of you know, how many people have been married, let's say, 15 years? 20 years. My wife and I, in August, will be married 20 years. It's hard to believe it's gone by so quickly. But anyways, there's 4 levels of sexual behavior in a marriage. The first level is hear me out on this. We're not saying where we are, any of us. We're labeling the 4 levels. The first level is where you make love every place in the house. You don't give a damn where it is. You're all over each other. You can't leave each other alone. The second level is making love is still wonderful, but it's only in the bedroom. It's called bedroom sex. The third is hallway sex, where you walk by each other and go, screw you, screw you. The fourth and final level is oral sex. Now that's usually when you quiet down. Oral sex. You nasty people. It's where you talk about sex.